or less on BYU Sports Nation.
Presented by Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. Ben Bagley about to join the program and make his mark. Ben, what do you have for us at number 1?
Well, let's start here. More or less than 13 carries by Tyson Williams in Game 1 versus Utah.
Less. BYU passed the ball a lot, and Tyson Williams will have 10 to 12 carries, but he won't eclipse 13. He averaged 8.3 the last 2 years, by the way.
Yeah, I don't see any way that Tyson Williams has more than 13 carries just because BYU is going to be trying to figure out some things with Lopini Katoa and Williams and Emmanuel Isupa. There are too many mouths to feed for Tyson Williams to have more than 13 carries. So I'm with you. Less than 13 carries against Utah.
Perhaps if he has more, that's a good thing. The run game's working.
Then it's effective.
Because you can look at passing two ways. One, you want to be aggressive. Two, if you pass a lot and you look back at that box score, that team was probably behind in the game.
You know what? I don't care who carries the ball, who catches the ball, who throws the ball, as long as a certain team down south has more points on the scoreboard than a certain team up north. Hit it.
Countdown to the Utes.
16 days. 16 days away, BYU and Utah. 2 weeks from Thursday. It's getting real now.
Mm-hmm. It's been real for a while.
I love it. Number 2.
By the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but the last 2 nights, that little tinge of fall is in the air. It's a little cooler at night, so football weather is here. Number 2, more or less than 4 future NFL players to play on the BYU offensive line or the Utah defensive line in the opening game.
I think it could be more. I think that Utah's defensive line with Bradley Anae and John Penicina and Leki Fotu and BYU's O-line with perhaps Tristan Hodge and James Empey and Brady Christensen, we could see 4 of those guys make it into the NFL.
Yeah, I think all 3 of the Utah defensive linemen will play in the NFL. So there are 3 right there. And then 2 of the 3 BYU names you just mentioned, Brady Christensen, James Empey, Tristan Hodge. Yeah, sure. I think there will be more than 4 total NFL players on those combined lines.
It's aggressive, but I think it could happen.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And we're talking about in the future, not next year, right?
Just at some point in the future.
Yeah.
At some point in the future. Number 3.
More or less than 4.5 wins for BYU Hoops during the Yoeli Child's 9-game suspension.
We don't know the schedule yet.
Well, the public doesn't know. With Yoeli, I thought that BYU was going to be over 500. I thought they'd be at least 6-3, or sorry, at least 5-4, 6-3. Now with it, that's the toss-up for me because I want to see what this team is like with Gavin Baxter as your one main front court guy. We'll see what we get from Colby Lee. Hopefully he takes a step forward, right? Dalton Nixon there, but Dalton's more of a 3 to me than a 4. It's a toss-up.
BYU is going to be over 500. They will be at least 5-4 in the first 9 games, even without Yoeli Childs. There's going to be a rallying cry. Some guys will step up. Jake Toulson's going to be a good player. TJ Haas is still a really good player. Gavin Baxter's going to take the next step. There's enough on the floor for BYU to win 5 of the first 9 games. And in Maui, they could lose to UCLA, beat Chaminade, and then beat somebody else, and technically come home with a winning record in Maui.
Yeah.
You don't know how that's going to play out,
See, in the first 9, it's a little scary. It's tough.
5-4. No way. BYU's not going to have a losing record without Yoeli Childs. It's not going to happen. If it is, then it's bad news. Bad news.
I don't want it. I want 9-0. Let's go.
Number 4.
More or less than 3rd. The ranking for BYU women's volleyball will find itself in the rankings released later from the AVCA.
Oh, man.
Less. I think BYU is going to be in the top 10. The top 3 ranking is quite ambitious given that BYU is losing Ronnie Jones-Perry, its best hitter, and then your starting setter. So, no.
Yeah, I'm going to number 8. I think they'll be like 8, maybe 9. So, less than number 3. I know that BYU was incredible last year. They were number 1 for the majority of the season. But, yeah, you lose 2 critical parts.
They could become that again. It just depends on the health of McKenna Asu and some of the other freshmen that are coming on campus. Obviously, BYU's got perhaps the best middle blocking duo in the country. We'll see, right?
What else is new? BYU's got good middle blockers.
The best libero in the country. Yeah, it's exciting. They're going to be awesome again.
Now, watch out for the setter position. BYU's got some young players that can ball. For sure. But there will be a transition.
You know what
period.
they are? They're volleyball players.
Oh,
I always love that. Man, he's a football player.
Yes, he is.
I'm aware. Yeah.
But you know what it means. Next.
Last one. This one coming from a story coming out today that Alex Rodriguez lost over $500,000 in value out of his car after Sunday Night Baseball, after it was broken into after that game.
Well, listen, you got to get rid of the diamond-encrusted golf clubs, first of all.
Well, so the question for you guys, more or less than $500,000 worth of stuff in your car right now?
More. Yeah. I've got the future BYU football schedules, right?
How much is A-Rod's car worth? That's what I want to know. It was
a rental, wasn't it?
The car itself is probably. Oh, was it a rental?
It was a rental.
But he got the high-end rental. He got the Bentley rental.
Yeah. Yeah, way more.
No, way less. I'm hoping, just to save face and show a little pride, I'm hoping I have at least $1,000 worth of stuff in my car.
Well, when sacrifice is brought up in staff meetings, I'm not sure that you'll go north of that number.
Yeah.